Hi there, how's it going? Yeah, it's been an interesting first month to the year 2024. I did start planning for a modelling documentary. I want to make something that makes people feel that they can achieve their goals and dreams through the medium of modelling. Yes, it's something that I don't really know too much about, but I so happen to know a few friends that are trying to get into the modelling industry, and so I thought it was a great idea to make a documentary. It would be something that would both benefit me as a filmographer and would benefit them as a model, as a means to have their own work displayed on a portfolio. Yeah, we got to work, we got to planning, some references, what videos are already out there on the internet, what can I do to apply myself as a videographer, and we went to a auditioning casting in London, and we interviewed a few people waiting in the queue for this casting, and we asked some questions about what got them into modelling, what got them there in the queue waiting in line to be auditioned, and the answers we got back were so good in fact, that I just thought, this has to be shown, we have to make something of this. And so that's why I've come up with the idea of incorporating these videos into a documentary and having that kind of similar vibe about them, something quite inspiring to watch, something that gets you up and ready to take on the day. So all we needed to do was find a couple models so that we could film them in a sort of cinematic video portrait kind of style. And this is a kind of stylistic decision. We've looked at some stuff made by Mabo, some stuff made on Vogue, their YouTube account, and there's a lot to look at. Honestly, it's quite interesting what there already is in terms of what's out there in the modelling world. But hey, I'm taking a chance on this. I want to make something that's fun to watch. So I got in touch with 3 different models, and they're all happy to be interviewed, and it's all great. And I've looked into the locations as well, and I wanted to base the locations based on their own personalities. So and also somewhere that they feel is a special place to them. So it kind of has that contrast. Working on the questions as well, we used ChatGPT to come up with a prompt. It was very useful in just helping us iron out the questions and the stuff that we want to hear on the video. So we used that and just edited and tweaked a few things. But yeah, unfortunately I've not been able to film anything yet because it's January, it's cold, no one wants to be modelling out in -5 degree temperatures, and I know how painful that is because I actually acted in my small short film, The Chapter, and we filmed that in January. I had my legs out in the Hockley Woods. I was freezing. I was so cold, and you know what? I know the pain that comes with that. So that's one of the factors that I've had to push this shooting for this modelling documentary a little bit further, somewhere in midsummer. We've got the vegetation, everything's a bit more blooming and lovely and nice to look at, and it's warm. That's the main thing. But another factor is that I need more time. I haven't done enough research. I'm going to be honest, I don't know what I'm getting into. Sure, I know that I'm going to be filming an interview, and I know that the shots I want to get, but the grand scheme of things, I want this to be a project that I get to look back at and I'm proud of. So and everyone involved. So to make sure that everyone is being represented in a very professional and well planned and thought out way, I need to do some research and look into this topic a little bit further. What is modelling? I don't know so much about modelling, so I need to actually go and consume some modelling documentaries myself, see what's already out there, and compare kind of my initial thoughts and ideas of the whole thing. And I did a little bit digging. I found out that the modelling industry is kind of dark. Some people are creeps. yeah, and it's more on that sort of it's not more on those topics of, you know, exploitation and things like that, and I kind of don't want to focus on something like that. So I want it to be more of a kind of video that people look back at and think, wow, this is awesome, like I'm gonna do the thing that I secretly wanted to do my whole life. So yeah, that's where I'm at January. I've been planning for modelling documentary. Yeah, I've also been just experimenting with the Fujifilm, my new camera that I got last year. I'm playing around with a shot now of a mirror, as you could tell. Yeah, just, you know, I'm glad that I finally thought of a way to like help people in the community with the skills that I learned studying film and TV, because ultimately what I want to be doing is helping people in my local community, you know, people that I know with the skills that I have of video, you know, like, you know, I could easily do corporate stuff and I could easily do things. I'm not going to get into that. So yeah, I have also had to stop working with a musical client. He was getting really, really pushy. I'm not going to say any names, but basically this guy, he'd like give me a plan for a music video, and then I'd go out and make the thing and edit it, and then he'd come back to me and just say that that's not what he asked for and that, you know, it's all wrong. And then he'd like take screenshots of people basically criticizing the work I've made for him. So I've stopped working with that client. And now I'm kind of in this sort of state where I'm like, what do I do with myself? Like, I'm going to be honest, I hate this feeling of not knowing what I'm doing with my life. So just take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. I started doing meditation. And I should really be doing that every day. I need to read more. I need to speak to people more. I need to connect. And so, you know, the first month has been kind of brash, to be honest. It's kind of what people think of, to be honest, when they think of January. It's like a Monday every day. So yeah, hopefully I can like make some consistent uploads on this channel, because I'd love to do that. Whether it's just me talking to the camera, or, you know, explaining a new thing I found on the camera, because ultimately I just want to make videos about other people, you know, because I feel like I don't really have a story to really tell. Another good thing that happened in January is I went to the Horror on Sea Film Festival with me and my friend Roberto, and we went and saw The Pigman, directed by Louisa Warren. It was an hour and 40 horror flick. It was good. It had a lot of people involved, beautiful locations for a short budget movie made in Kent, which is like an hour away from here. It's really, really good. I love the music, I love the styles, and actually I love the cinematography. There was a scene in this film that had like just a perfect shot, and it was just, you know, when you feel that scene and it just hits you there. Yeah, with the lighting and the smoke and the right amount of colour grade, it just gives you that punch, and it just inspired me as a filmmaker. Yeah, it's this like dark story about this serial killer Pigman who got bullied, and then he basically, you know, out of being bullied, just kills everyone that he knows. It's kind of dark. And he becomes a legend, like a mystical legend in his local area. And then basically a bunch of YouTubers go to try and find out his origins, try and make like a YouTube video about him and get like viral famous. It's just one of the motives for one of the characters who just wants to be famous online and, you know, makes as much money. And he's kind of a creep as well, because he like dates a 14-year-old. It's kind of all over the place, but yeah, we watched a small film, and so yeah, that was like one of the films we watched at Horror on Sea. It was great. And we also got to see a talk from Pat Higgins. So you know what? It was a good month. You know, it was good. Things, you know, I feel like when people think of January, it's not always in its best light. I tend to think of January as a type of reborn sort of stage of the year. It's kind of like, you know, you evaluate what had come from last year, and now you make plans for the new year, for the new life. So yeah, and I guess I need to jump back on the wagon and start making more content and meeting more people and just having fun. So yeah, that's basically it. That's been me. So thank you so much for watching, and that's been my thoughts of January. Peace.